With Election Day right around the corner, voters will decide on key races happening in the tri-state. Joining us now to break down what New Jersey voters need to know at the polls is Brigid Harrison, chair and professor of the Department of Political Science and Law at Montclair State University. Welcome.
Thanks, Cindy.
So, Brigid, the 7th congressional district seat is the only competitive congressional race in New Jersey this year. Why is this race so close?
This is a really interesting district, Cindy. It is a very affluent district, about 70% white. And this is a district that has kind of gone back and forth. These are not Trump voters, but they are Republican voters. There's about 19,000 more registered Republicans in the state. But it is actually one of the very few districts in the country that if it had been a district, it's a new district. If it had been a district in 2020, it would have voted for President Biden, but also it would have voted for a Republican House member. So this is kind of a microcosm of the United States. These are our voters who prioritize financial issues, highly college educated, but may not be buying a lot of what President Trump is selling.
Where do Sue Altman and Representative Tom Kean Jr. stand on the key issues?
So what we see is, again, this is looking a lot like the national campaigns. You see Congressman Kean talking a lot about the economy. That's an issue that resonates for his core constituents, particularly white men. And you see Sue Altman coming at this race, talking a lot about reproductive rights, trying to bring women voters out, particularly perhaps Republican women voters who consider themselves pro-choice, and maybe not talking about voting for a Democrat, but actually voting for a Democrat.
Now, New Jersey's 7th congressional district typically votes Republican. Do you expect voters to vote this way come Election Day, or are polls showing otherwise?
So there's only one neutral poll that has been conducted. That's by my friend Patrick Murray down at Monmouth University. And that shows about 2 weeks ago with Tom Kean Jr. with a 2% lead. That's well within the 4.7% margin of error. A lot of things have changed since then, including the fact that the House Majority PAC, that big fundraising apparatus by the House Democrats, has now invested about $4 million in trying to get advertising out for Sue Altman. That's something that they hadn't done up until about 2 weeks ago for a variety of reasons. And so really now this is anyone's race to lose. We've seen a lot of early voting taking place in this district. Typically that tilts toward Democrats. However, these are highly educated voters, so it could go either way.
Now, what are some key, other issues that will drive New Jersey voters to the polls this election?
It's really funny in New Jersey, this is the only competitive race, even though we have 3 brand new members of Congress who will be elected, relatively new, one took office a little while ago. But when you think about that, these are new members who really don't have competitive races. That's because of how the districts are drawn in New Jersey. Interestingly, in New Jersey, what a lot of people are thinking about is what happens on November 6th, and that's when our gubernatorial elections kick off. And we have 2 House members, Mikey Sherrill and Josh Gottheimer, who are talked about as potential gubernatorial candidates. So a lot of eyes in New Jersey are already focused, I hate to say it, on 2025.
Brigid Harrison, chair and professor of the Department of Political Science and Law at Montclair State University. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Cindy.